And my live video, I'm already shuffling cards, spiritual cards, life purpose cards. And we're going to get some life purpose cards for my story, but also about you. Because when you're watching, you're actually tuning into the meaning of what I'm saying. And it should all collide so that you also, resonate with the cards. And the topic is my spiritual money journey. It was written down on that side. That's why I looked that side. My spiritual money journey, and your spiritual money journey can be maybe felt into mine as well. So let's see if we all already have a card from the Life Purpose deck. I'm just splitting it here now, and I'm asking the assistance of Divine Mother, as I always do, and it says, time to decide. Take a decision based on your heart's desires. And this talk about my spiritual money journey is indeed about time to decide, because I decided to go on this journey with my full spirituality intact. And that means with my blueprint as a twin flame, which everyone has, which is just a deeper layer of what you are as a human being, but then made come true in the flesh. Many people don't even know that this is a layer inside of them, but it is. And you can make it come true. I wanted to make that come true. That was the start of my journey. I decided that. And it colored my money journey as well. So maybe for you that will be true too. Maybe you also want to decide to go on a twin flame journey. Maybe you also want to decide that no matter what it costs on quote unquote, in many meanings, that you just want to do this. You want to go the entire journey, because then you can make it come true. Then you can just live together. Rightly so. Because harmonious union is possible. You can live it here in the flesh. And that is a decision as well. It starts with a decision. Whichever journey you're going to make, it starts with a decision. That's for you to decide to make the twin flame come true. Decide to go on the money journey of a lifetime. Because did you know that they actually coincide? They coincide because the twin flame and the money both resonate on the layer of the deepest value inside of you, which is connected to your source. And that is able to be made come true in your physical life too. But you've got to decide it. When I decided to go all the way, I had to decide it many times. And it had a reflection on my money life, because I did not choose to go for the big money. I chose to go for the spiritual integrity. And that meant a lot of the time that it was not always easy to make money. And that brought actually me to a financial downfall at a certain point too. While I was going spiritually deeper. And I was below zero. And I wondered in tears if this was ever going to be better again. But I still survived, and everything still worked out for me. That was the strange thing. It was hard for me to operate in what they call normal society, because it just didn't resonate with me. And I was experiencing all kinds of wrong things in it too that were just awful. Also financially awful. I felt financially bullied and just unjustly treated financially too, by all these so respectful institutions that I was working for, that would mistreat me financially, or I felt mistreated. And that I discovered during my journey, that was all inner work. Because even though that's true on the outside, and that goes for many people so, and there are facts to this that prove that it was real, even when that is so, the outside world is still a reflection of my inside. That is simply the spiritual outlook on life. That's how that works. And you can change your outside world or any financial situation inside of it by doing the inner work inside of you. And I took some years to sink into that, how that was true for me, and how on earth to do this inner work about my financial situation. Because I felt financially bullied, but could the world really change? Well, to have that so, it came out that I needed to change inside myself, and I would need to let go of an enormous amount of being traumatized in early childhood, and the rest of my childhood too. Much of my financial trauma was actually psychologically, emotionally originated there. That's how I was treated as a child. I was financially bullied as a child. And this then goes in your unconscious programming, in the back of your mind, in your survival instincts, in just how you act when something comes out of you as a grown-up. And it blows up these situations in your life that feel like financial bullying in your professional life. Because when you, as a small child, have been programmed that you're not allowed to have what you need, not allowed to have what you wish, not allowed to have what you desire, not allowed to have boundaries, not allowed to have sexual safety, not allowed to have emotional safety, not allowed to have your feelings count, not allowed to have your hunger count, not allowed to have your normal, natural, physical features of your body be true. So that you can say, yes, I'm an organic creature and I need this amount of money and I need that amount of rest. And that can be respected just on the basis of that you're a creature that has been born. No, that was not so in my childhood. You had to only be cut off from finances. You had to only be cut off from free eating until you were satisfied. You had to be cut off from all these things. And not because we were poor, because we were absolutely not. My parents had literally tons in the bank sitting there. Which with me made me very confused because I was hungry every day and I laid in bed crying because I wasn't allowed to eat. And I did not understand what the problem was. Why couldn't they bring up enough food on the table? It's not that they didn't have time for it. It's not that there weren't resources. It's not that the shop wasn't around the corner. It's not that they didn't have money. They had all this money. But I thought maybe they hadn't enough money. While we lived in the biggest house you can ever imagine. So that was not true. As a grown-up, it took me many years to uncover that it was about control. Control was the most important. And control is abuse. We needed to be controlled in our money life, in our physical life, in our needs life, in our desires life, in our wishes life. In our healthy, this is me as a creature, and I need to feed it on an emotional level, on a physical level, on a mental level, to satisfaction, to be a balanced person. That was denied because control was more important. You needed to be controlled. And that was then also the only thing that I knew in my financial adulthood, that I needed to control myself, because that's how that works. Then you start to control yourself because you've learned that as an unconscious pattern as a child, and now you're going to control yourself. So in controlling myself, I could actually not really make money. And I created again the bullies outside of me in my financial life, in my work life, that would bully me about giving me not enough money or unfair amounts. And all of that I could reset by choosing differently. This is the first card. Choosing differently. And you can do that too. Because this is my story, but it will be the same for you. It will be a similar principle. And you have also the strength and the power to make a new choice. You make a new choice inside yourself so that you can process all this unconscious programming and the results of it in your physical daily life and your financial daily life and your professional daily life as a result of that too. They can also be processed. And through processing, they will disappear because that energetic blueprint has disappeared from you. So I hope that helps. This is about my spiritual money journey. It took me some years to figure this out. Let's get another card too. And this one jumped, so we're going to get this. And it took me some years to get to this justice, to manifest this justice in my life. And we have the card. This is a Dutch card from the Life Purpose deck, so I'll translate it for you. It says indeed, justice. It says your career is taking care of the fact that we through it get honesty in the world and protection of others that need your help. So now I can help you with my story. And if you just started watching, you may want to, after I finished it, just start over again, because I just shared the most important story about how the financial patterns in my life came into my life, where they came from. And that's just so important because everyone has something like that, how it's in your early childhood programming that you're not allowed to have enough money, for instance. So you'll be your forever own saboteur. Crazy as it may sound. But these are unconscious childhood programmings. And let's shuffle some more, get some more cards. That is totally my story. And you can make a new choice to make that undone. And there's something else that you can do for your money unconscious programming, so that you need to remain poor and need to be self-sabotaging, and to undo that. And that is that besides making a new choice on the soul level, is that you're going to do inner work with the same tool as you do for your twin flame journey. I've talked a lot about that. The key tool with 4 steps that uses your feelings to, take your feelings, feel them through, turn them around, and get an outcome. And let's get this card. Talk to your angels about your financial story and the betterment of it through doing inner work, through making a new choice, through undoing unconscious inner child programming, early childhood trauma around needs, around desires that now manifest in your money life. For that, you can talk to your angels. Ask divine guidance instead of being worried. And I truly believe that is a good advice, because I have gone through the biggest financial downfalls. I did not only have nothing, but I was below zero in many respects. And still everything kept going, and still everything was all right. And still I knew I was going in a direction of my harmonious union with my true twin flame. And still I even found lessons in this whole situation, and still I had something to eat, and I was grateful for that. And still I could move forward, I could do inner work, and I could move forward, and I could do more inner work. I could organize for more money to come in for a next phase. I could see a future in which I would also be able to work on the minus levels and bring them back to zero. And I could even see a future in which I was thriving, with loving clients, having my working practice at home, with my twin flame, working together, living together with our family around us, our children, in this beautiful home, in the landscape that I love, in the Netherlands, around the big rivers, at a place in our country where there's a lot of old forests. And I love that place, it just makes me cry. I love this place too. That just made me cry. The whole picture. And I kept on moving forward. And at the end of the day, it didn't matter that there was a season in which I was below zero. It didn't matter. It was the season in which I figured out all these things that I now pass on. It's the season in which I got the depth of soul and the experience of life that I now can help people with, because I know where they are and what they can experience. I see a card. Music. God has been telling this to me all the time, that I needed to listen to music for some years, for 5 years at least. And no, years before that, maybe 8 years in total. He kept on telling me music. And music made me feel good, while it was sometimes a puzzle to make my basic ends meet with the money that I had. But I always could have a basis, so that was cool, great. You know, that's beautiful to get the perspective of that. That can already be enough. The rest is extra. And then you have the freedom to fight for that extra in a positive way, not in a bad, negative, let's kill everyone on my road kind of way. No, in a free way. That's where entrepreneurship is being born, in freedom. That's where being a coach is being born, in the softness of the divine inspiration in your heart, instead of the harshness of the ego that is going to fight everyone and knock down everyone that is in my way financially. So this is what created it for me, that I feel free, that I feel grateful, that I feel this gratitude in my money life, because I already have enough. I already have a foundation. I already live in a house. I can already eat. Don't you understand how prosperous that is? Well, I got to understand that. And I was so grateful. And this gratitude is one of the best, I have noticed, attitudes for growing your money that you can ever have. And the freedom that I feel in my inner life, because I did the inner work, is the best place to start doing action as an entrepreneur, as a coach, as a helper, as an assistant of people. That's how you invite also that soul money, that divinely inspired flow of prosperity that keeps on going eternally. That's how you invite it, by being free, by not being in the ego, by not being combating, but by giving space and already being in gratitude, already knowing that you already have so much. Most people in the Western world actually already have so much and have access to money in some sort of way. And that's a very good foundation for growing as an entrepreneur as well. And that's what I got to learn. And I completely and utterly see that phase as an integral phase of my entrepreneurship. Do you understand that? And yes, God started to talk to me 8 years ago that I should listen to music. And that was hard or something. It was hard. I think I felt misconnected in my heart with my own music that I loved. It was strange and it was hard. And I had beautiful pop music that I loved from the 90s, because that's when I grew up, so when I was a teenager. I had beautiful music from my first spiritual teacher, very, very spiritual. And I could play piano. I even have my piano now here in my home. Got it from my parents. I got it tuned in 432 hertz, which is a frequency that is the heart frequency. And that's not how you would nowadays normally tune your instruments. I love it. It's just a whole altar of music that I have here. Music is frequency. Frequency has also a divine frequency. It has a heart frequency. So I think that's what it's really about. And there was this sense that even my twin flame loved music and made music. And I didn't even think of him like that. But it came out that he does play guitar. Which is strange that I never realized that, although I knew him from my teenage years on. And I was always in love with guys with a guitar and whatnot, because I was an average girl, let's say. But my twin flame was actually also there, right there, also playing guitar, and I did not realize that back then. How blind must I have been? But luckily, I learned. So music, I right now in my entrepreneurship journey, in my money journey, in my spiritual journey, in my twin flame journey, have come at a place, finally, since I had my new computer 4 weeks ago that my twin flame helped me buy. I finally listened to my music again on this new computer. It somehow just was focused. The focus was on it now. I put my music from my one computer to the other one. I was like, yeah, am I really going to do that? Yeah, I guess so, okay. Then I was playing it, which I didn't do before. I played other things, but like YouTube videos and whatnot. But now I'm playing music and I love it. I feel so nourished by my own music, the music that I love. Yeah. And it makes me cry all the time too. So I think this can be a very nourishing thing that you can just do. And then we get more cards from the Life Purpose deck. And all cards are for you too, not only for me. And we have 2 of them. Healer, which is always a little bit fun that it shows this, what's it called? I don't know. What is it called? Well, this doctor. Okay, let's call it a doctor. And I don't really resonate with that kind of doctor. But healer is a more general term. And of course, we are doctors of the soul. I am a doctor of the soul. A doctor of your original value, which also translates in money. A doctor of your original blueprint, which is to be a twin flame, right? And the other one is trust. So I think we can trust our money journey as part of the spiritual journey. Just like I said, that my below zero time was actually a fully integrated part of my entrepreneurial journey. I totally see that in the same vein there. Because it taught me the right attitude. It taught me even what it was about. And it taught me to trust, which made me free in the heart to have my entrepreneurship from the heart. And by being a healer from the heart, it freed me up to do that. We can trust our spiritual journeys. We can trust our financial journeys. We can trust the journey that we make the divine. Because that is simply a trustworthy institution to do the journey with. When you do the journey, whichever layer of the journey, your financial layer, your twin flame layer, the spiritual learning of life lessons layer, all these layers you can do with the deeper self, which is the soul, which is fed through source, which is God. And that is trustworthy. So, I think we're there, but we're going to have to close it off a card from the angel answers. This one. Huh. There it is. Within the next few months. So, whatever you're going to, you feel right now in your heart, for the next phase, your next goal in the journey, financial, the next phase in your journey with the twin flame, it might come true in the next few months. Maybe that's just good to focus on the next few months. It's good to look a little bit ahead, but don't make it too crazy. Don't look too far ahead because you might go off. Because we always need to go with the connection in our heart with the divine. And not overstep that. And not overstep too much. No. Okay, I'm going to split the deck once more. And this is your answer. Whatever your question was. Are there finances in my future? Yes. Is there a twin flame in my future? Yes. Am I worthy? Yes. So, am I worthy after having gone through low points on my financial journey? Yes. I am all the more worthy. I'm so worthy because I have learned things. I have gone through the fire. I have lived through the fear of being poor and not having anything and being a social outcast. That makes me super worthy. I have connected with my true value. And that has been crystallized out in my Harmonious Union state of consciousness in March 2020. That is when God started to show me how I was parallel to the twin flame rest of the unfoldment, also was going to live a new unfoldment on the financial level, which was also led by God. I call that the divine money path. God has been showing me all of this and preparing me to teach it to you. And God has been allowing me to anchor all this value into this eternal place so that I feel grounded. And now I can simply work on more and more being present for you here on social media so that I can pass that on. So these were all stories and cards that I hope have touched you. Every card was about you as well. What is in your heart that you want to say yes to? What is in your music player on your computer or on your phone that you love, that nourishes your soul? It is you that can connect with the angels so that it can help you. It is you that can choose again. And my advice for choosing is choose money, the frequency of the divine, and choose to be initiated in that. You won't regret it. Even though in the beginning, maybe you go down a little bit. Maybe it seems like things are going off heel. Is that the expression? Well, you understand what I mean. But you're only in the course of letting go what's no longer valid, letting go what doesn't fit into your eternal financial flow and vibration. And you're on your way with a lot of trust to the financial justice that will come as well. In an attunement that feels good, is connected with the true twin flame, is connected with the divine, connected with your true value, and is connected with much more ease and flow. And will birth money and money situations and resources and good that stays, that won't hasten to go away anymore, that won't insult your respectfulness, that won't bully you, that won't be always not enough, because that's a good way to control you. No, it will stay. And that's what I want for you. Thank you so much for watching. We've come at the end of my live video about my spiritual money journey. And yeah, what about giving me the color of your heart you feel right now? When you've watched, react and give a colorful heart in the color that you feel in your financial heart now. It's the blue heart, the red heart, the pink heart, the yellow heart, or whatever you have. So put the emoticon in. I would love to see what your financial divine temperature is with the heart that you're going to post as an answer to this live, to this video. I trust that it will stay up as a recording. I think this was fun, and maybe I should make it a little better, maybe make it a little more interactive, and keep on going live. Who knows? We're going to see where this is going. Thanks so much for watching. Much love from Petra.